All right. Hello, Gregory.
Hi, Maximilian.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, all right.
Same thing, Mm-mm-mm.
1 minute. Hope you're ready.
Am I ever really ready?
I can't speak for you.
They call him Skinner, Skinner, faster than lightning.
Five seconds.
Yes, y'all! It is DCTF Live, the internet show that proves that you don't need talent to have an internet show. My name is Greg Tepper, managing editor of Dave Campbell's Texas Football and TexasFootball.com. Thank you so much for spending part of your day with us. I'm over here, which means that over there is Max Thompson.
Hi, Greg.
Hi, Max.
How's it going?
Oh,
Doing anything fun this weekend? Anything going on?
One or two things. We'll get into that in a moment. First, I need to tell you that this is episode number 68.
Oh, here we go.
The Hanser Alberto episode.
And why not?
There's also, you could also go with Ryan Firebrand, or Bend. Omar Beltre or Craig Gentry wore 68 in 2009. So
Sure, why not?
That? And today, one thing, you know whose birthday it is today?
No.
Neymar. You see this?
I didn't know that. No.
Do you know how old he is?
22.
24.
Oh, that seems reasonable.
That seems really young for how good he is.
Yeah, I guess he's been around
He's a soccer
forever,
player,
though.
by the way. He's a football player.
Yeah, but he feels like he's been around forever, so that seems about right.
I guess. It is Friday, February 5th, 2016, Off-Topic Friday. We're going to get into your off-topic questions here in a moment. If you've got a question for Off-Topic Friday, tweet it to us at hashtag DCTFLive. And a little later in the show, we're going to be joined, around 12:15, we're going to be joined by the great Joey McGuire, the head coach of the Cedar Hill Longhorns.
Will you or I have enough energy combined to keep up with him?
No.
Probably not.
No, that's the easiest question you've ever asked me. The answer is no.
No.
So excited to talk to him. It is Super Bowl week. And so as we kick off Topic Friday, again, send us your questions at hashtag DCTFLive. We should probably start there.
Okay.
First of all, I've long held that if you are going to get together with your group of friends and somebody's doing the Christmas party and somebody's doing the 4th of July party, the Memorial Day party,
sure,
if you can call dibs on the Super Bowl party,
easy money.
That's the king of the parties.
There's no other party I'd rather throw.
It is so easy. We're having one. The Teppers are having one.
No, easily the most disappointing part of moving to DFW.
Mm-hmm.
You already have dibs on the Super Bowl party.
Yeah,
that ruins it.
Yeah,
I don't know what to do.
And so it's really easy because you don't have to entertain people, and because there's already entertainment on the television.
Right.
There's good food. and you kind of make it BYOB, BYOF,
Yep.
BYOT.
For sure.
I don't know what
For
T
sure.
would be. But it's really easy to throw. And then the other thing is, so the game kicks off at 5:30. By the way, when everyone's Googling what time does the Super Bowl start,
5:30.
5:30. Kicks off at 5:30 Central.
But you told people they could start arriving at 4:30.
Yeah.
You know who will be there at 4:30 with bells on?
Well, you got to get your
This guy.
gambling in. You got to get in your prop bet sheets.
I'm much more. We've talked about this. I'm much bigger on just the food spectacle of a good Super Bowl party.
Mm-hmm.
I am fully in on the plethora
Mm-hmm.
of food options, and that is what I get excited about. Free money,
for
I'll
good
take that
reason.
too.
Yeah, that's
but
nice. We're going to play squares. We're going to have prop bet sheets.
Sure.
But the other thing about it, and I probably shouldn't be admitting that on international
I mean,
air.
we're betting foodstuffs.
Yeah,
Cupcakes.
we're betting cupcakes.
That's
Betting
we're-
cupcakes.
There's no money will be exchanging hands.
Government, don't worry.
When I say free money, I always mean free cupcakes.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're doing that, and it's just fun. And the other part of it is that at the end of the game,
Right.
everyone just leaves. And as we're getting
Be
older,
gone.
people
sure.
are leaving earlier and earlier.
For
and
sure. As you
earlier.
get older, although I remember throwing parties 5-6 years ago where you're like, it's like 11:30.
Yeah.
Game's been over for a while.
Everyone's
You're
just
like,
hanging around,
why
having a
are
couple
you
more
still
drinks.
here?
Yeah.
It's Sunday night.
Yeah, you got work tomorrow.
There's always like you got a couple single guy friends that are just chilling on the couch, like shoes off. They've been here all night.
And you don't want to kick
We
them
don't
out.
have to go anywhere,
No,
right?
You don't want to kick them out at that point. But I think I'm a big fan of the Super Bowl party. We, the Teppers, will once again be hosting our Super Bowl party.
You're all invited. Everyone listening.
Yeah. Yeah, you're all invited.
Email Greg Tepper at texasfootball.com
yeah.
for more details.
Greg, yeah.
Greg.tepper
At
at
If you
texasfootball.com.
want to come to my Super Bowl party, that you
But you
will.
better bring some good food if you're coming.
There is, of course, a game. There are 13 Texans who will be involved. Actually, 14 if you include defensive coordinator Wade Phillips.
Yes.
But there is
and
a
then Kubiak, right?
there's a Dave Campbell. I'm including
Yeah,
him.
okay,
Yeah. There's a Dave Campbell's Texas football cover boy who's coaching, and Gary
Right.
Kubiak.
Yeah.
I believe this is the first time we've ever had that happen in a Super Bowl. A Dave
Cover
Campbell's
boy?
Texas football cover boy coaching a Super Bowl. The
Did a cover
headliners.
boy appear in the Super Bowl?
Yes, that's happened before.
Okay.
That's definitely happened before.
Okay.
But
Okay.
but you guys like Von Miller from Texas A&M,
Wow.
from here in the Dallas Fort Worth area. We've got it up on TexasFootball.com if you want to go find where all the Texans are going to be from. If you're looking for a prediction, and we are football experts.
The football experts.
If you're looking for a prediction, I think that there is a fair to spare chance that Carolina blows the doors off of Denver. We've had a nice run,
Yeah.
honestly, of really good, entertaining, exciting Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Right? About the last
Well,
four.
I don't know. Seattle, Denver wasn't.
That's true.
That was a butt whipping.
Yeah. But probably 8 of the last 10 have been pretty good.
Yeah, we've been lucky.
We've been good.
For
They've
the
been
most
they've
part,
been
we've had
competitive
good
into the fourth
games.
quarter.
Yeah, for sure.
I think there's a decent chance that Carolina
when
blows
you've got
the doors off. them.
I think there's a decent enough chance. I think our saving grace here is that Broncos defense is historically one of the best. I think Aaron Schatz was saying the other day when I was listening to Bomani Jones' show, saying that in the 27 years of data they have, Broncos definitely top 5 defense all time. And that Carolina one isn't anything to sneeze at. So, decent chance we get a good game because of two great defenses. But I think you're right. I think a lot of us are sitting here going, but do you have an answer for Cam?
I mean, Cam Newton's just so good right now.
You probably don't have an answer
And
for
it's
Cam.
not like their defense is any slouch either. Their defense has been great.
Their defense has been awesome.
So I think I'm picking Carolina. I'm going to say Carolina 23-16. There you go. Which I think would go along with what Vegas has. Vegas has it at about a 7-point line right now.
I'm gonna go. I'll be the risk taker.
Okay.
Carolina 24, Denver 6.
Ooh, okay. Gonna say that they're gonna really lock
Someone's
it down.
got to do it, right?
I think that right now the way that Carolina's playing is so impressive. But at the same time, doesn't this feel like one of those games where everyone's picking one side, which means that the other side's going to win.
Maybe.
I
feel like we definitely went into the Denver New England game that way. I think everyone was like, oh well, it's been fun, Peyton, but this is what the Patriots do, and then we didn't get that.
So we are. It is Off Topic Friday. We've got a few questions to get to that you sent to us at #DCTF Live.
The greatest segment in
first
podcast history.
The first from Matt Stepp, our good friend, who asked us to do some grocery store talk. Best grocery store in the state of Texas.
Yeah.
I mean, we'd be remiss if we didn't go with something like H-E-B, right?
Well, it seems like the obvious answer. I mean, H-E-B is an institution here. We in the DFW area are slighted. We have been denied that pleasure.
I'm a Tom Thumb or Kroger guy around here. But
but you don't really have a choice.
I don't. Yeah, I mean that's
that's not a hill I'm dying on.
If you gave me the opportunity to go to any, if you have to any grocery store, it'd probably be H-E-B. I think and I brought this up with Stepp because he was like only Texas grocery stores. I don't feel like there's any other answer other than H-E-B. Well, there is. I'll tell you that if you go, and we do have this one near us, Market Street. Market Street, I believe, is a Lubbock-based outfit, and they're a little bit pinky up. That's a bit of a classier establishment, if you will.
The greatest grocery store I've ever been to are Fairways. And there's two different Fairways. There's the Fairway in the Midwest, which is kind of like a lower-end grocery store, which is whatever. But there's Fairways in the New York City, Connecticut area. That's the greatest grocery store I've ever been to. It's like the perfect hybrid of everything you love about H-E-B with a few very hard-to-find things in each section. Very, sort of specific kinds of things.
To me, the thing that sets grocery stores apart from one another is the fresh food as far as not just fruits and vegetables, but also do they have a bakery? Do they have a place that's...
What's the fish counter?
What's the fish counter like? What's the butcher like?
What's the butcher like?
And that's why I think H-E-B really has that covered. Market Street, again, a little more higher end, and they do have really, really good like butcher counter, really good meat counter, really good fish counter.
Yeah.
So... That would be my choice. I think if
I'm infinitely curious. I almost feel like we should have had Matt Stepp on for this because clearly he brought this question up with something in mind.
Yeah.
Right?
I would say...
But I feel like it's kind of an obvious choice with H-E-B.
Think so. I would go with H-E-B. Market Street is a close second would be for me. Another question here from Tanner Wilson on Twitter. He asks, what is the most underrated Texas vacation spot?
This is a good one. This is tricky. I started thinking about this, and I went, no, people would think of that. So you and I are both very fond. You go, Big Ben.
That would be my initial thought.
But obviously, that's the problem.
Right.
He put the word underrated in there.
I think that you can have a lot of fun. I'll go to bat for El Paso. I thought that my trip out to El Paso was really eye-opening. That is a nice, fun city. It's very safe. I know that people are freaked out about it because it's right across the river from Juarez, but it is the safest city in America, and that is not a made-up statistic. That is, if you go and you look at cities that size, it is the safest city in America, which makes sense because of all the stuff going on across the river.
Right.
They make sure that this is not happening on the United States side.
Yeah.
I think El Paso is super underrated. I would throw out Paladuro Canyon up there in the Panhandle. It's beautiful, and I think that. And then you know what? I'm going to go across the state, the Piney Woods. If you're a camper, if you like going camping, there are plenty of beautiful places around Nacogdoches, around Huntsville, in the Piney Woods area that you can really, really get lost. Anything stand out to you?
I'm a little tricky, I guess, in that if you give me anything desert-wise, I'm in. Like, some people go to the beach, some people go to the mountains. The desert is my sort of zen place. So I got no problem with your El Paso nominee just because of the places you have to go through to get there. But yeah, that's
now I will throw one thing out.
Kind of no man's land is what is most interesting to me.
This is West Texas, and you got to be going there to get there. The best state park in Texas.
Ah, yes, I've heard this from you.
Balmorhea State Park. It's out there in Balmorhea, home of the Bears. Go Bears!
Yep.
It has a spring-fed swimming pool out there in the middle of the desert. There was this amazing spring, and at some point, I don't have the dates in front of me, but they put together, the Army Corps of Engineers went out and turned this spring into a swimming pool. I've been out there. You got a diving board. There are people. It's rocks on the bottom, but you can, if you go down and get like goggles and look down, you can see the spring coming up. It is, and when it's, because we went out to Big Bend in the summer, and it was 100 million degrees, of course, because this is Texas. Let me tell you, that water was cool and crisp.
Baby.
It's nice. So Balmorhea State Park, put it on your bucket list. It is a fantastic, underrated destination in the state of Texas. But the great thing is, and I subscribe to Texas Wildlife Magazine, Parks and Wildlife Magazine, because, pretty cool. You can go anywhere in the state, and there's cool stuff to see.
Right.
You're not, the beauty of having a state as big as Texas is that there are always going to be these gems there. It's not just the places you've heard of, like Fredericksburg, which was great. Love the Battling Billies. They're putting in new turf whenever we were there, so I couldn't go on the field. But it's between the hill country, if you're in the hill country, you've got that. If you want the desert, you've got that. If you want the coast, you've got that. Galveston, down there, Corpus Christi.
Sure.
You've got anything you want in the state, which I think is
state. That's why it's wonderful.
It's why it's the best state. Go State of Texas.
That's an uncontroversial opinion on this show.
We are DCTF Live. We're here every weekday at noon on TexasFootball.com.
Now, I want to point out our friend Glenn Brockenbush, who's a loyal viewer, has another question. Do you want to hit it before we get to Joey McGuire, or do we bring him back to close out the show?
Boy, I'll tell you, it's a loaded question. We need to devote. I think we're going to table that for the next off-topic Friday.
All right, so just as a teaser for our fans,
he asked what's your favorite.
I'm going to put it up.
He asked what's your favorite barbecue place in Texas, and that is not a conversation we can have in the.
And also,
we told Joey we'd call him at 12:15.
Glenn here says I'm going to Salt Lake in a couple weeks, so we've got some time.
We've got some time. We'll get to you, Glenn. I promise.
I promise you have some hot sport takes on Salt Lake as well.
It's a great great question, and we will get to it, but we need to. That's a whole. Segment.
That's a segment.
You know what I mean?
I think we need to get like a panel, maybe someone in studio.
We should get Daniel Vaughn.
That'd be hilarious.
Texas Monthly.
It'd be hilarious to get him.
That'd be great.
Thursday conversation.
Let's do it.
All right. Okay.
We are DCTF Live. We are here every weekday at noon on TexasFootball.com. You can subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. It's shooting up the podcast charts. I think Brian Curtis said that to us. It is shooting up the podcast charts. You can find that link on TexasFootball.com. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. We're on Facebook at Facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And, of course, TexasFootball.com. I will plug one more time. This is the last time I have to plug it, but these are rosters for the Canadian under-19 or the Ontario under-17 team. I'm calling the International Bowl alongside my good friend David Saltzman on ESPN3, 4 o'clock and 7 o'clock. So if you are into that kind of thing, you can see some of the best young players in the state in the nation playing at AT&T Stadium today. You can check that out. So TexasFootball.com/live. Uh-oh. You're looking at me weird. You're looking at me weird. It's always bothers me whenever he looks at me weird. So we're gonna be joined in a moment by Joey McGuire, the head coach of the Cedar Hill Longhorns. Cedar Park is the Timberwolves. This is the Cedar Hill Longhorns, and another big year for them. They go out in the first round though, and they are probably the first victim of the new home and home thing. All right. We're joined now by Coach Joey McGuire of Cedar Hill.
To ask him where he is.
Coach, where are you? You're in Las Vegas right now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, what are you doing out there?
I'm getting remarried tonight.
You're getting remarried tonight?
Yep. On the same day, same time. Really excited. Got a bunch of friends out here, and Elvis is going to walk her down the aisle.
My goodness. So, all right. So you're out in Las Vegas. You're getting remarried.
Yes.
Compare and contrast this to winning a state championship.
Well, I don't know. I'll probably be as nervous, probably waiting down there at the end of it, and looking into her dad's eyes again. But man, we're really excited, really excited. We have all of our closest friends, and it's a great day.
It certainly is, and you've had a number of great days in recent days. I want to take you back to Wednesday,
Yes.
National Signing Day. We talked to Chad Morris, the head coach at SMU, where a couple of your kids are going, and we talked to one of the recruits, Keenan Murphy, out of Crosby, heading to Houston. We know it's a big day for college coaches, and we know it's a big day for high school players. But for you, as a coach, what is National Signing Day like for you?
It's dreams come true. It's one of my favorite days. I think that there's so many kids that motivates them to make sure they're making the grades. I mean, we had 16 kids sign, and the reason we did is because they took care of their business in the classroom. The ACT. I mean, ACT's coming up tomorrow. I got 54 2B seniors taking the ACT tomorrow, and just having a plan and seeing that plan follow through and all those dreams come true. I got teared up on a couple of my kids because they've come a long ways.
It's got to be bittersweet for you that here you are and you've seen these kids grow and they've helped your program so much, and yet at the same time you got to let them go now. So is it a mixed emotions type of day for you?
It is. I'm so attached to my kids, and I love them. I think that's what we're such a family, and perfect example, Joey McGuire, he's going to UTEP. They got a steal. He's a phenomenal player, and he's just come such a long way, seeing him mature. And I think his mom and I both had tears in our eyes whenever he was signing, because you see that and you feel so good about it. And I'm proud of them. I mean, I'm like a daddy up there with every one of them. I'm just as proud as I can be of them.
I want to kind of point out a couple of guys. You mentioned Colby McGarry, who's heading out to UTEP. You've got another kid in Jameel Moore heading to North Texas. What can you tell Mean Green fans about what they're getting in this young man?
Well, what's really cool about this class is I think, the best football is ahead of them, because it was a group that was playing behind such a strong senior class last year that, they just kind of came on the scene this year. And so Jameel, he's a long corner. I mean, whenever Coach first met him, he goes, "God, you're a lot bigger than I thought you were going to be." And I mean, he's a long corner. He's got really good speed. He's got the frame. If he had to, he could grow into a safety. But, I like his length and his cover skills at corner.
We're talking with Joey McGuire, the head coach of the Cedar Hill Longhorns, here on DCTF Live. Get involved in the conversation at #DCTF Live. You've had your history of putting guys onto the next level and getting them there. At what point in the process of kind of building them up do you think, okay, this kid's got a chance to go on and sign with a big-time school?
Well, I think that's one thing. I think we've got a really good reputation with colleges that, we've been doing this a while. My recruiting coordinator, Calvin Razika, he is an expert. I mean, in NCAA rules and every part of how to get somebody into college. I mean, he is a true expert. And so I think that colleges, when they come in and we sell our kids, but we're not one of those people. You get a lot of people that they oversell their kids, so then it's like, here we go again. But I think college recruiters trust us to say, hey, this kid is either going to play for you or he's going to play against you in your conference. And that's been true over the 13 years that we've been doing this. So I think that gives us an advantage that those guys trust us whenever we say, hey, this kid's a Big 12 kid, or this kid's a Pac-12 kid, or wherever. We've got a good track record of being right.
two guys heading to SMU, Michael Clark and Eric Sutton. A couple of questions here. First of all, have you noticed an uptick in SMU's recruiting and how often they've been giving you a call and checking on your kids? And secondly, with regards to these two defensive backs in Michael and Eric, what can we expect from them on the Hilltop?
Well, I always tell everybody, because I never want to badmouth any coaches. I mean, it's tough enough to be a coach, and I like the guys that recruit us from SMU, but without a doubt, Chad Morris is a Texas high school coach. He came in, he said, I'm going to recruit Texas. And from day one, I've been at Cedar Hill for 19 years, and this is the first SMU signee, and now we have two out of this group that we've ever had. And that's saying a lot when you talk about the kids that we've had. And so he's been, right on saying this is what we're going to do. I'll start with Eric Sutton. Eric is he's got a very high football IQ. As a junior, he played safety, nickel, he played corner. And then as a senior, he was our corner that got everybody's best guy. Great feet, he's going to put on some weight, of course, but he's physical for his size, and just a phenomenal kid. And then Clark, he's a longer, bigger safety that possibly could eat his way into an outside linebacker if that's what they needed him to do. But he's a physical kid. We were really excited with the way he played. He got banged up at the end of the year, but played really well for us this year.
I want to bring it back to realignment, the other big day this week.
Yeah.
It's been quite a day here. Obviously, in your part of town, down there in South Dallas, you're never going to get an easy draw, but things change a little bit as you guys move around. You get back in with the DeSotos and with the South Grand Prairies. Overall, when you look at your realignment draw, what are you seeing for your Longhorns?
It's going to be a really good district. It's a very athletic district. Whenever you start looking at different things, I mean, if you take other sports, girls basketball is going to be phenomenal. Boys basketball is going to be phenomenal. And of course, track, whenever you just throw Duncanville, DeSoto, and Cedar Hill in there, the girls track and boys track is going to be really tough. Football-wise, I thought it was a really good draw for us. We returned so much this year, and we feel really good about this team. That 17 group, when we go into that next year, we're going to be really, really young. And so it was a good draw that we're going to be able to grow some kids up. We got a really tough first 5 games. And so it's going to be tough both years, but it's going to help us grow some guys up that next year. So I like the realignment.
You mentioned that you've got a very tough non-district schedule, and this year is going to be no different. You guys sure loaded it up. Plenty of talent in the front end of that schedule. For you, why is it so important to load up in the front half, especially when you've got such a tough district draw?
Well, we kind of changed our philosophy after 2009. In 2009, we got beat by Abilene. They won the state championship. And if you go back and look at that team, that might have been my best team that we've ever had. I mean, whenever you look at guys that went on to play, Ben Molina's with the Cowboys, Josh Allen's with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Adam Shedd played for OU and started for them for 3 years. And, I can go on and on about those guys. And we didn't have a tough schedule. And so it caught up with us whenever we got into a game to where we had to really reach down and get into a dogfight. I don't think we were ready to fight. And so after that year, we were like, hey, look, non-district, I mean, I know we want to get going on the right note, but we got to get into some games that we're going to get our nose bloodied and see how our kids are going to respond to that. And so we've been taking on the Denton Geyers and Booker T. Washingtons and Allens and now Bishop Gorman. And it's going to help us grow up and find out what we have.
We're talking with Joey McGuire, the head coach of the Cedar Hill Longhorns here on DCTF Live. Get involved with the conversation, hashtag DCTF Live. Coach, one of the guys that everybody's going to be paying attention to and maybe the next big star coming out of Cedar Hill, your quarterback, Avery Davis, took a step forward this year in his development. What can Cedar Hill fans expect from him as far as heading into 2016? I
can't say enough good things about this kid. And I'm close to every team I've ever coached, but, you know, this is my son's group. Avery's over at the house as much as probably he's at his house. And so I get to spend a lot of time with these guys. And, man, he's working so hard. He gets up every morning. He and my son, Kagan Williams, they're in the weight room at 6 a.m. Then he's on the track after school. He's my team captain. He's a straight A student. I mean, he'll blow the ACT out of the water tomorrow. I mean, he's just that complete kid, you know, and what's really fun right now, his personality is kind of a quiet personality, kind of leads by example, but he's starting to really open up and you know, we're going through some stuff. We're developing our leadership council, and I've got 4 kids that help me develop that. And, you know, he's really been really good about talking and saying, hey, I think this guy would be really good, or this kid is helping grow up. And we got out of our boot camp last week, and he was the squad leader that, I mean, his group was just phenomenal. So I can't say enough good things about him. Incredible talent, but just a phenomenal kid.
And we know that today's a big day. You're out there in Vegas. You're getting married again to your beautiful wife, Debbie. Are you wearing the same tuxedo? 22 years ago.
I don't think I could fit in it, brother. I don't think I could fit in it. I wished I could, but I'm a little bit over my playing weight right now. So, no, I'm trying to talk her to let me wear some boots and jeans, but I think she's going to make me put on some slacks.
Well, we know it's a big day for you. It's been a big week for you between, realignment and then signing day and now getting married again. Coach, congratulations on all fronts. Best of luck tonight. I know it's going to be, you know, don't be too nervous.
I got you.
All right. Thanks so much, Coach. Enjoy the day.
Hey, thank you, guys.
There he goes. Cedar Hill coach Joey McGuire. I had no idea.
I had no idea.
I just retweeted the photo at Tepper of his wedding photo. He said they got married 22 years ago, and now they are getting remarried. He and his beautiful wife Debbie. And the photo's great. I just retweeted it. It's a fabulous photo. I'll tell you, he doesn't look like. I'll tell you, I've seen Joey recently.
Right.
I think he's doing himself a disservice. I think he could probably squeeze into that tux. You know, it's 22 years ago. Yeah. But he's got the white tux. I imagine Debbie is probably not wearing the big, poofy-shouldered dress again. I wonder if she may be doing something different. But the jeans and the boots, that would be pure Joey McGuire if he were to get remarried.
See, I've got to pull up the picture now and see for myself.
There you go. I just retweeted it, so if you want to check out
hold on.
mine. Or you can follow Coach Joey McGuire at Coach_McGuire, McGuire 50 on Twitter.
That's something right there.
That's something. Good for him. Good for him. That's very exciting. His father-in-law is gonna walk him down the aisle again. I imagine there's less of a chance that they're going to get. You know, she's gonna say no this time, right? You know, because were you nervous? Was there any doubt in your mind that Carrie, your wife, was going to say no at the altar?
No, I actually, you know, because everyone comes up to you before and they're like, "Oh, you nervous, buddy? Oh, you sweating?" I was like, I honestly, easiest decision ever. And what I told everyone was, I'm not nervous about the next 30 minutes. I'm not worried about the next 30 years. I'm nervous about the next 30 minutes. Yeah. Like, just getting through it and not making an ass of myself was my main priority. I wasn't worried about the yeses or any of that stuff, or the I do's. It was, you know, this is the right decision. I just need to not screw up this memory for everyone.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah. Don't like rip a fart or something like that up there.
You know, or sweat so much that I look ridiculous or
and so we got married in a Catholic church, and it's always funny there because as Catholics, we have funny dance moves with our weddings, you know, standing and kneeling and sitting and all that fun stuff. So I told all my friends who are not Catholic, I'm like, guys, it's okay if you just sit through the whole thing. We're just happy you're here.
It's not a big deal.
We're not asking you to do the dance moves. We know they're funny. But so congratulations to Coach Joey McGuire getting married again. Good for him.
Did you have a moment in your wedding where you're like, oh, if that had gone differently, it could have gone downhill? Like there were maybe a turning point or anything like that? Anyone dropped something?
So the only thing I was worried about was so your best man was – who's your best man?
My best friend, Matt.
Your best friend, Matt.
Yeah. I was his best man. He was my best man. Right.
So you had the rings, right, as the best man?
For his wedding.
Yes. I was only worried because my older brother, Matt, was my best man. And I was only worried. I was like, Matt, I swear to God, don't different. I will tell. We got to get out of here, but I want to tell you one story from my wedding day. Was we woke up, we played golf, had fun, and then I'm getting ready, and we told the whole groom's party to be there at let's say noon. I don't remember what time it was. Right. Well, I look at my watch, and there was one of my brother-in-law was there. It's 12:05. I'm like, okay, well, everybody's running a little bit late. My buddy shows up at 12:05. Okay, we got half of them there. I'm still waiting on like my brother, and then or I think both my brothers is who I was waiting on. And there's a knock on the hotel room door, and I'm like, oh, great. Okay, great. They're here. Fantastic.
Woo.
I open the door.
Oh, no.
And it's my cousins, okay, who are not my wonderful cousins from Iowa.
Not who you're wanting to see at the door right now, though.
Not who I want to see at the door. And I'm already freaking out because it's your wedding day. You're freaking out. And they have with them a bottle of Jack Daniels and one of those Crave cases of White Castle. And at that point, that was the most wretch-inducing thing they could have shown up with. I was like, I'm already nervous. Like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Like, not that I'm doing the wrong thing, but that, oh my gosh, like I'm about to get out there and commit my life to somebody else. Normal wedding nerves. And here these two, love you guys, idiots show up at my door with Jack Daniels and White Castle, and then the whole room stinks of those onions. Thanks a lot, Danny and Kevin.
Our moment was we're sitting there in the middle of the ceremony, and you're taking it very seriously, right? Like you're trying to be relaxed, but you're like, you don't want anything to get screwed up. And we got married in New Orleans, and I kid you not, 10 minutes in, we can hear a second line parade coming down the street. And you have that moment where you're like, oh no, we're not going to hear each other. It's going to ruin everything. But then you also have that, obviously in retrospect, you got married in New Orleans and a second line was playing in the distance. Mm-hmm. It worked out. We had that moment like, oh, no, this is a great memory. It'll be all right. But that was the moment where you're like, oh, wait, no, it's okay.
Well, congratulations to Joey McGuire. I've got more wedding stories, not from my wedding, but from other weddings.
Oh, I've got plenty of wedding stories from other weddings.
Including when I missed a high school football playoff game to be in a wedding, and I've still held it against my friend. We'll bring that up next time. Follow us on Twitter, DCTF. Like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, Instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And, of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. Vince Young, please come get your Player of the Year trophy. Happy weekend, happy Super Bowl, and we will see you Monday on DCTF Live.